Last time, on The Savior's Sister, we had romance in the art gallery. Drake attacked Layla, and she forgot she had powers, so Tobias had to save her. Layla tried to solve mysteries, but she is extremely, extremely bad at it.
Hi, hello. The night is dark and full of house noises. The ferrets are out running around. I'm doing laundry right now. I hope that you have come to find my house noises comforting, as though I bring the sounds of a household unto you, so that you can pretend we are together reading this shitty book. This next chapter is really short. I'm just going to bang this out real fast, and it's called The Keys. It's chapter 29. I wonder if this has anything to do with the keys that the guys had to, like, swim for in that one challenge. Be an interesting thing to actually make the challenges matter for once. Ah yes, she and Tobias just had their big old fight. Gotta have those with your couple. For some reason, Fawn has just, like, sprouted a backbone. I'm very confused why it's her. But all of a sudden, she's just, like, here and, like, scolding Layla for disguising herself. She also got into that fight with the dragon and Tobias, and they cut off his ear. And apparently the talk around the palace is now that Layla is mad and just chopping off people's ears. And I'm like, it took this long for her to get that reputation? This is what does it? This?
I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love.
Okay, sure. Layla shutting Fawn down. Fawn says, I'm trying to understand as your friend. Layla says, we are not friends. I'm really surprised that Fawn ever thought that they were friends, by the way that Layla treats people. She basically has barely concealed contempt for everyone at all times, except Delphi and Pippa. And of course, Layla is mad because how dare Fawn come and speak to her and bring up all of the problems with her plan. Oh, don't worry, she's gonna go visit Basement Dad. Ah, I thought we'd forgotten about Basement Dad, but he's still here. We are, however, seriously running out of time to make use of the auras, Mirror Moms, or Asher. Like, I could see the Mirror Moms specifically paying off somewhere down the line. But Asher? No. Asher is a character who should not be here. And I don't think the auras are important either. Maybe in a future book it's really gonna come up, but as I am dubious. Color me dubious. My aura color is whatever color means dubious. So she's supposed to be having this great moment, her dark night of the soul here, where she's just like, everything is going wrong and I don't have a plan.
Everything's not awesome.
Wait, what? So he was right.
Everything's not cool.
I am so depressed.
But she's never had a good plan. It's not like we, the reader, are watching this like meticulously crafted plan that she has be thwarted or fall apart. We can't be frustrated with her because we're busy going, Layla, you never had a good plan. You still don't have a good plan. The only reason things aren't going your way is just because the plot decided to swing in the other direction, and all of a sudden, your dad's terrible plans are working now. Your one and only plan. Okay, you had two plans. The first plan, kill everyone. Not working so great. You're very slow at it. Plan 2, have your sister pretend to be you. That worked for a while, but now everybody except Tobias has figured it out. Neither of these were good plans, Layla. So we can't be like, oh no, we can't be devastated, because there's nothing to be devastated about. Of course they didn't work. So Layla's down talking to Basement Dad. He's making, he's just like, oh, I would never be this mean to you if I was your real dad. You're not my real dad. Maybe he is. I don't know, that could be a twist. Erebus? I can't remember who he is, but he came down here and he saw Layla hanging out with Basement Dad, and he's like, oh snap, and he ran away. Possibly it's because he knows Layla is a murder hobo and she just might decide to kill him. Well, somebody pointed out, because obviously she's going to try to shadow walk and catch up with this guy, Layla can't go anywhere she hasn't been, but she can transfer her powers to other people. So all she has to do is give Tobias the power of teleportation, and then have him teleport both of them out of the palace. I can't take credit for this one, lots of other people have been saying it, but yeah. So many people she could teleport out with. Apparently, this guy's running down a tunnel that she didn't even know about.
Secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
She seems to have found, potentially, a maze. Almost labyrinthian, you might say. Jenna keeps calling the doorway a portal, which confuses me, because I know there's magic in this world. And that makes me wonder, is it a portal, like magic portal, or is she just referring to a doorway in kind of a weird way over and over again? But Layla gets out of the tunnels. She's still chasing this motherfucker. I guess she's really afraid that he's gonna tell Brontes that she was down there hanging out with Basement Dad, and I'm like, he didn't know, but then I remembered that of course he didn't know. Brontes doesn't know anything. Jenna is not bad at writing, at showing rather than telling a lot of like physicality, physical stuff. But Layla chasing this guy and her descriptions of Layla's running and whatnot are really bad. It's awkward and clunky to read. It doesn't evoke the usual mental picture that I often get from Jenna's writing of physical stuff. What I don't understand, she says she couldn't teleport after him or get in front of him in the tunnels because she wasn't familiar with the layout. Okay, whatever. Those are your magic rules. I'll buy them. But once she gets out and she recognizes where she is, she says she recognizes where she is, she still doesn't teleport ahead of him, and now she's run blindly into a room and gotten completely clotheslined because there was just somebody waiting just inside the room, and now they're beating the shit out of her. And I'm like, why didn't you teleport when you had the chance? Well, she's actually remembering that she can teleport within this fight, at least. Thank fuck. I don't know what is the difference. Both Drake and this guy caught her flat-footed because she came running into this room and he ambushed her and he knocked her weapon out of her hand, or rather he pulled her weapon out of her hand in a kind of a badass way. And he was kicking and punching her. How is that different to what happened with Drake? Because she's teleporting all over the place in this fight, but she couldn't or wouldn't teleport during the Drake fight. And I thought that it was being implied that she just couldn't teleport if somebody like got the better of her, caught her by surprise.
What are the rules?
Here we go with this.
What are the rules?
When the plot needs her to, that's the secret. But he still manages to pounce her. He just runs at her really fast. And then he does the classic pinning her to the floor, which everybody does eventually, and she cannot escape from. This is well established. If you pin Layla to the floor, you've got her. Is it bad that I kind of hope he wins? He's strangling her, and I'm like, good. I was wondering who was going to come to her rescue, and once again, I was like, oh my gosh, is it Asher? Is it actually going to be Asher? It's fucking Talos. Kind of like I was waiting forever for the redemption for Flynn, because it seemed like there was a whole arc just waiting to happen there, and as we have established though, it seems that Jenna likes to look at a perfectly good character arc and then throw it out the window for some reason. Well, now we know why this one is called The Keys, but this plot point is real sus. When Erebus came down to the dungeon, he had keys with him. But apparently, he dropped the keys. He left the keys, and Talos grabbed them, and freed himself using the magical key, the enchanted key, and that is what it is called. It's on the page. What? And I presume that's the one that Tobias found. Again, everything is down to convenience. If he hadn't just happened to be there, and then he happened to drop the keys, Layla would be strangled to death right now, and I would be a lot happier as a person. And apparently she can get free now? He's like, go to the vault and get your money. Maybe one of these keys is for the vault, but was that the only thing that was holding her back, that she didn't have any money? But he's like, go get your money and leave, and I will go back to my cell and cover for you. This is kind of an awkward sentence. Her knees wobbled, nearly tripping her along her journey. She's totally on board with this, by the way. She seems to have decided that this final assassination attempt is the one that did it, and she's going to do exactly as she's told. She's going to the vault, she's going to get her money, and she's going to flee. I have no idea why this time she's decided to leave. We're not really getting her thoughts on the matter. She's just like, yep, this is what I'm doing. But this is where we discover, and I actually knew about this one point I knew about, She opens her vault and it's empty, and she's like horrified to find it empty, but she would never have found it if she hadn't seemingly randomly decided that this was the last straw. And I'm making the leap because Layla never even thinks this is the last straw, this is the last assassination attempt I can handle, I can't stay here anymore, not one more minute. She never thinks any of that. Basement Dad just goes, you have to leave, go to your vault, get your money, and then leave. And she just does. It's almost like Tobias's torture scene where we get none of Tobias's thoughts. It was never, ever established that the reason that she hadn't left was because she didn't have any money. I don't love this, and I'm beginning to think that Jenna is not very good at climaxes. I think she really likes like this first chunk here, but when it comes down to having like a realistic Dark Night of the Soul, a realistic and exciting climax, this ain't it, sis. And it might just be because she just doesn't really understand what makes a good arc, at least as evidenced by her character arcs. She may want to read some other books that have really good climaxes, really good Dark Night of the Soul, you know, and see what they're doing and try to improve. Just the same thing happened in The Savior's Champion, where Tobias got tortured and he didn't even really seem to care. And then there was this weird thing with a maze, and then they had to do this fight. And it was all just very odd. So we'll see what happens next, but this is just, it doesn't even feel like it belongs in the same book almost. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I've been rambling about it too much. See you for the next chapter. Hello, Kinshu and I are here. Kinshu. Should I leave the camera here, just like a little bit off so that you can enjoy Kinshu? This is chapter 30, The Rage. We just found out that her vault is completely empty, which we already knew that her dad was siphoning money from somewhere to somewhere. We found that out earlier on and then kind of forgot about it. The thing is, he has completely emptied her vault. Now, granted, we don't know how much was in there to begin with, but he has emptied it. So either he moved the money somewhere else, possibly to his own vault, or Brontes is so bad at planning that he spent all of her money on like ruling and her assassination, and she's still alive and he's still in the same position. Do not let Brontes run your budget. Finally, something has happened that will require
Layla
to act and like have some agency, because everything that she has done so far, like we either knew she was doing from the first book, or it's just kind of like the same thing over and over again, and this might make her do something new for once. Okay, I thought we were just gonna go straight from the last chapter where she found her empty vault into this chapter and her reaction, but no. Apparently her reaction was to like shut the vault and be like, this is fine, and then she went back to her room, and now she's doing her tits out on the grass thing, and missing Tobias. You just found out that your dad spent all your money on, what, hookers and blow, you have no idea, and you're just gonna go sit and be sad about your boyfriend. I was really hoping this would spur you on to do something!
So what are you waiting for?
I don't know, something amazing, I guess.
I have pizza. The cats are all lurking around because they want some of my pizza. Also, apparently, Layla can't cry outside or it starts raining. She cries inside, I guess it's fine. She's mad about it because she doesn't like rain, but doesn't the realm also need rain? Like, isn't rain good? Delphi's here to comfort Layla, as usual. At least she's not interrupting Delphi in the middle of Delphi having sex for once. Her basement dad was like, you have to run, this is the last straw, you have to run. She goes and finds she has no money. And then I guess she just gives up. Layla's realizing she actually set her dad up for success, because if no one realizes that she is actually the savior, besides like the people in the palace, he could kill her now and no one would care because he already has Cosima set up as a savior. So Layla really just played right into his hands. They're still trying to figure out who the traitor is. Why doesn't she just leave? Does she still have the keys? It really is impressing on me how much her going to the vault just needed to happen for the story, and so Jenna made up an excuse for her to go there. Because now it's completely back to business as usual, as though it never happened. Layla realizes the Senate is convening right now, and she goes rushing there, presumably to yell at her dad for stealing all her money, but what's her plan? He's just gonna beat her up again and be like, it's my money, bitch. Okay, we do finally get some proof that Brontes doesn't believe in the Savior, which is at least a reason that he's okay with killing her. I thought that must be the case, because if he actually thought that she was the only thing keeping the land alive, he wouldn't be trying to kill her. Or, well, maybe not. He's real dumb. This is confusing. Layla's like, you've seen the sun out there, roasting us alive each day. Have you noticed how seldom it rains? And her dad's like, it's raining today. So that means that Layla personally makes everything still grow even though it's a desert. Why doesn't she just make it rain? Seems like a waste of your energy resources to spend all your time making the land stay like fertile and everything in the middle of a desert when what you could really do is just have it rain more often. I assumed that's what she was doing, but apparently it doesn't, and it only rains when she cries. Apparently there was also a plague that she is like, I'm keeping the plague at bay, but it's been like 1,000 years, so I think the plague is dead. I think probably all of those germs long gone. Unless she's saying that everyone actually is infected with the plague and I'm the only one keeping them from having symptoms, which could get real interesting if Jenna ever wanted to play with that, but she never will. And then she's like, you're all going to die when I'm gone, and she turns on her heel and leaves. She doesn't even yell at her dad about the missing money. She's just like, why are you having this meeting in the morning when you know I'll be busy blessing the realm? She's also very upset that now everybody thinks that she's crazy. Again, how did they not think she was crazy before? Very recently, Layla has started to like not think as aggressively bitchily about Cosima, probably so that we as the reader can start to not think of her that way, and then, oh snap, she's evil. But obviously, Cosima has a clearer motivation and arc and everything that you can just see desperately wanting to happen in this book than Layla ever had. Like, what is Layla's arc? She doesn't have one. She doesn't even really want things. A character who doesn't want or need things is really boring. Her need, I guess, is not to die, but since we are never worried that that's actually a possibility, it doesn't feel like a real need. Her want? She wants to fuck Tobias. She doesn't seem to want to rule the kingdom. She doesn't want to do anything with the tournament. Fuck Tobias is her want, and then she gets Tobias, and if it wasn't for all these lovers' squabbles that they conveniently have, she would have her one and only want. Book over. Once again, we've completely forgotten, really, that the final bout is going to be happening, because no one cares about the tournament. Kinshu has left us. For the moment, she'll be back. Truer words were never spoken. Then what's the plan? Delphi hissed. There is no plan.
I have part of a plan.
What percentage of a plan do you have?
Apparently Layla just can't be arsed with Tobias anymore. Like, they had an argument and now she's like, he can die. Whatever. This is the fight in the rain where Tobias first gets really beat up. Okay. Wasn't sure where everything fell. Fortunately, Tobias quite literally hulks out. His rage is like flowing. She can see his rage juices flowing off of him in his red aura, and he's just winning now. It is high-key horrifying, especially with the Tobias that we have seen in this book versus the Tobias from the other book. The Tobias that we have seen in this book is a kinder, gentler Tobias. In this one, he's just a soft, perfect boyfriend type. So it is doubly disturbing to just see him go completely feral and just waste these guys. Apparently, did you know that if you get angry enough, you can overcome anything? 3 guys trying to beat the shit out of you, just get mad. What are you doing? If you get beat up, it's your fault. You just didn't get mad enough. So at the very end, we get the line, the tournament was destroying him and there was nothing she could do but watch. Have you tried anything? No. You have not. You've just killed senators. You barely even pay attention to the tournament. You don't even remember what is coming up next in the tournament. You didn't even bless him. So, like, you could have done something besides watch. We're here with Chapter 31, The Light. I thought that we were going to start barreling towards the end, but we seem to have come to a screeching halt again. This is a weird sentence. She's talking about how Tobias's black cloud is like really intense right now, of course. Perhaps if she could see her own colors, they would look just as despaired. I feel like it should be despairing. Because this is the horniest kingdom in the world, Tobias's reward is to spend the evening with Cosima. which we all know I was really disappointed. Didn't turn out to be like a setup by Layla where she was just like testing him, or that Cosmo would be a good person and show that she actually is, not just a skank, but all of the things that are going on in her life, and Layla's main concern is that Tobias is going to spend the night with Cosima.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
Layla gets upset and jealous and is like, of course, Tobias would never love me, blah, blah, blah. She leaves the banquet in a huff, and the Covarian Queen follows her, so we're going to get a little bit with the Warrior Queen. I like to think that my Warrior Queen is better. You can decide for yourself by reading my book. I don't know why Jenna keeps using eyed her over instead of looked her over. The Covarian Queen has figured out that Layla is the real savior. Tobias, this does not make Tobias look very good. I thought for sure, like, everybody in the palace was already in on it from the beginning, I thought. But then I thought for sure that fewer people who weren't supposed to know didn't know. But it turns out it was just Tobias who didn't know. And Flynn. Tobias and Flynn. The queen asks Layla's name, and Layla tells her, and I'm really shocked that the queen didn't go, yes, that means darkness. Oh dear, no, dear warrior queen. How unfortunate, the home of a queen, no home at all. You are smart then, taking measures, whatever they are. You don't have to tell me, but smart woman, yes? I didn't give her a dumb accent because I think she's supposed to have one. I think she's supposed to be like, but smart woman, yes? No, though. Covarian Queen. It's a good thing you don't know her plans, because you would laugh your ass off at how disastrously bad they are. Even though we've got a chance here with this badass warrior queen to finally have someone that Layla can, like, look up to, or be like, hi, I want to be as cool as her someday, we still have to, like, keep being reminded that yeah, this queen is great and all, but Layla is the best one. The queen has appeared to be Layla's therapist right now. Be careful, lady. The therapist job often gets you killed around here. The queen clasped her hands together. Tobias, why do you break his heart? Excuse me? I am the queen of warriors. I know the rage of a man who has lost great love. She saw Tobias fighting, and she was like, yep, that's murdering, in a way that indicates his girlfriend broke up with him. The queen warns Layla that Tobias's rage will destroy him. She's seen it many times. Look, sir, if you're so angry after a breakup that it will destroy you, I don't know, you need real therapy, man, not just some guy who shows up to be your sort of therapist. You need real help. Especially since you've been dating this girl for like 2 weeks. And now that the queen has finished with her therapy session, she has walked away. The queen walked away and Layla's like, damn it, I should have asked her some questions instead of just talking about myself the whole time. She didn't say that last bit. She was just like, oh, I wish I had asked her some questions. But now the queen has walked away and there's absolutely no way you could call her back or go find her. What is happening? She goes back to her room and Asher is there.
I'm going to take off though. I'm in a hide-and-seek tournament and we are in the semis.
And all of a sudden, he just, like, starts kissing her. This is the end of Asher's arc. This is where you chose to go, Jenna? His purpose is just to make Layla feel better, because he tries to kiss her, and then she pushes him back, and she's like, I used to think you were very handsome, until you fucked my sister. And we're supposed to be like, oh, yeah, eat it, Asher, revenge. But it doesn't come off that way for so many reasons. We're supposed to feel pleased for Layla because she finally told off that Asher guy for having sex with someone she didn't approve of one time. And then for all we know, he never had sex with Cosima again. They immediately broke up. But she's like, no, you fucked my sister, and therefore I can never love you. Both of you have absolutely no value, and I'm a badass for telling you that. What the fuck, Layla, should be the tagline for this book. I'm so upset that this is his arc. He had to be punished for his very severe crime of sleeping with a lady that one time. And then he looks very sad, like a good little kicked puppy, and lets her go. Because, yeah, Layla, oh, so strong and awesome. I'm so mad. That's the whole point of Asher. So she teleports to the watchtower, and Hylas is there, the king's, like, little page boy, who I haven't been bothering to mention since he's barely a character. Blink and you'll miss him. By the way, Hylas is gay, so he gets to be redeemed versus any of the other men who wanted to kill Layla. They get to be killed. In fact, he was going to righteously kill himself. He was going to jump from the tower rather than have to assassinate Layla.
Thanks, I hate it.
Why are we having this conversation with Hylas? She's just comforting this guy that we don't know or care about. Of course, he's encouraging her, if anyone can beat Brontes, it's you, lest, again, the reader forget that she is the best. Hylas is just like, I've seen you in the meetings, you're just so badass, you never let them intimidate you, your fire never goes out. This guy is about to jump from a tower and kill himself. And he says, I can only imagine your sorrow, betrayed by your father, makes my troubles sound pathetic. He would rather jump from a tower than be tortured to death by Brontes, but his troubles sound pathetic compared to Layla's. Layla is, at this point in the book, making her first ever new ally. And it's only because she happened to teleport to this tower at the exact time that this poor kid was about to kill himself.
You're kidding, what a crazy random happenstance.
And it's the easiest kind of ally to make because she doesn't have to convince him of anything. It's because he's already on her side, that's why he's about to jump from a tower. Ally served to her on a silver platter. Layla's like, is there a woman who's exchanging messages with my father? And he is like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen one. How does he not know? He's the page. So Layla's having another sexy dream with Tobias, of course. And in her dream, she's like, you know, do you love me forever? Do you mean it? Do you swear? Every man before you has wronged me. I can't take another heartache. I can't. And then her sexy dream turns into a dream of watching Tobias and Cosima have sex. All right, I'm gonna have to stop pointing out every little thing. This chapter's kind of long. Layla and Delphi go to the gallery and they see Tobias has left her his lilies. They see Brontes leaving another message. It just says, the time draws near, await the package. Is the package his dick?
It's my dick in a box.
No, Layla. No, you are incorrect. Why do you keep clinging to this stupid plan? We need to get to work. Once we find the traitor and reveal Brontes' network, this is how we win. We act now or never. How? What? Why? Just kill him. She runs into Masumi, and she's like, what's on my itinerary? And Masumi says, there is none for you at least. She flipped through various sheets. You're to begin your monthly blood in a few days' time, but other than that, why the heck would you bring that up? And we know she hasn't had sex, so we can't be hinting that, oh, she's gonna miss it and she's gonna be pregnant. Like, what the fuck? Jenna, what is that doing here? You saw some beta reader or something be like, you know, I like it when we acknowledge that periods exist, and so you threw it in the most awkward place that you could possibly think of? She gets sick of waiting for her dad, and so she goes to his room. She walks there, and then teleports in. She finds a little vial of her dead mother's blood, which is apparently a really good potion, like a cure-all. So that's a thing. But now someone's coming. I've got money that it's Cosima. Oh no, it's Dickus. He's the apothecary, by the way, in case anyone forgot. I sure had. I'm glad the book reminded me. She sees Dickus going through some stuff, and then he notices her, or almost notices her, and she teleports away. Because all of a sudden we're being hit really hard with this. He has this special potion made from her mother's blood/magic. Oh, by the way, yeah, we totally needed another unanswered question this late in the book. Of course, she's lost track of her dad because she got tired of waiting for him, so she went to his room, and now he's wandered off, so good job, Layla. The Queen of Kovar must not be a bad person because she just showed up next to Layla and called Cosima a bitch, so. The Queen gestured toward Flynn. That one. He is useless. A plaything. No value. Wow. Wow. No value. 0. Layla sees her dad talking to Cosima, and then when he leaves, she bursts in to confront Cosima. Why must you covet what I have? You are beautiful, powerful, and wealthy. Why is that not enough? Layla! Wow, you just have no concept of anyone's lives aside from your own. Cosima has been raised her entire life to believe that she could never, will never be as good as you. She can't leave. She's under your thumb, Layla.
Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!
Oh, and Layla's not yelling at her about the fact that Cosima is definitely working together with her dad. She's yelling at her because Cosima spent the night with Tobias. Alright, now that she's got the Tobias thing out of the way, now she's bringing up the Brontes thing. Because Cosima is our dramatic queen, she knows how to play the game. She immediately just starts crying and says that she's going to faint and then calls servants to help her back to her chamber. So she gets herself out of that situation. And all I can say is, yes, Cosima. Layla decides to go have a good pity party in her room. She takes off all of her clothes and stands looking at herself with her mirror mummies. Don't worry, she won't be sad for long. She puts on a sexy dress, she looks at all the clues she has, doesn't still understand what good they do her, and then Tobias is here. And they had a whole big makeup scene, you all know how it went, and then she's like, let's do it. Because nothing makes me hotter than having been crying like 2 minutes ago. So his dick is out, and she thinks, I saw his cock. Yup. So he's literally about to put it in, and he's saying what he thinks she wants to hear. I never loved the savior, I love you. And that just kills her mood. She immediately begins to cry, real turn off right there, and she just cannot choke out the words, I am the savior. She thinks it several times, but she never actually manages to get it out of her face hole. So Tobias, the perfect boyfriend, just, you know, bundles her up and sits with her. She reminds us several times in this chapter that all she ever wanted was him, which reminds me of our talk that we had recently about how she doesn't really have interesting or good wants and needs that a protagonist should have. I'm going to wrap some presents because it's almost Christmas, which tells you when I'm filming this and how far behind you all are in the whole thing, but yeah.
Here in Wisconsin is nice and cold, but here on the channel, the patrons keep us warm. And those patrons are Patrick, Anne Sophie, Callison, Ray, Artemis, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Irene, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Lennox. Huge shout out to all those faithful, loyal patrons. And if you want to be a member of this awesome club, you can join us by supporting me over on Patreon.
Secret tunnel, through the mountains. Secret tunnel.